Having got introduced with Balchandar Nemade's life and work and the present essay, the background of the present essay, now we shall go ahead with the initial part, the introductory part of this particular essay, Marathi novels from 1950 to 75. He states that while analyzing the shaping process and trends which caused the unprecedented growth of the Marathi novel in Marathi after the independence, particularly after 1960, certain principles have to be followed. So he mentions these principles over here. The first principle, to understand the origin, to trace the origin of prevalent trends, whatever trends existing after 1960, to understand their origin, Nemade thinks that it is necessary to examine the cultural background of the 19th century. So he examines the cultural background of the 19th century in the beginning, and this background gave birth to the novel in Marathi as a literary form. Okay, we all know that novel, the form, it has its origin in England. Generally, it is claimed, but Nemade goes against this particular view. Therefore, he examines the cultural background of the 19th century. Further, as a literary form, the novel occupies a large verbal space, okay, and a wide scope to discuss each and every constituent. Therefore, he thinks that it is difficult to categorize novels or novelists representing various trends in their pure form. Means you cannot say that this and this novelist wrote these and these kind of novels. So there isn't a kind of specific categorization. It is difficult rather, but criticism must have a clarity of thought. He states. Therefore, he finds a way out. So it is necessary to bear in mind that criticism is non-autonomous means. Of course, you know it very well. Criticism is not autonomous as such. Many of the critics think that criticism is autonomous body, but it has to depend on literature for its interpretations, for its analysis. So it is non-autonomous means. That is the principle that one has to keep in mind while understanding this uh, development of the novel in Marathi. So he discusses the trends. While discussing these trends, conclusions about the individual works have been derived. Now, how are these conclusions derived? They are derived by applying the criteria of style and substance. There is an exclusive section in this essay on style and form. So he applies the criteria of style and substance. Criteria is the plural form of criterion. So he applies two criteria. One is style and the other is substance or content. Fourthly, he thinks that the first generation must have an unfailing nativistic awareness. Sorry, the present generation. So he talks about the nativistic tradition in the novel in Marathi, in literature, Marathi literature rather we can say. So he reminds us that Marathi is a creation of Marathi writers. And these writers, in turn, are the product of Marathi society. He is actually a bit antagonist about formalistic approach. The formalistic, he described this approach. You must be knowing with reference to I. Richards. or the formalism, Russian formalism, etc., Roman Jakobson and others. So the formalistic he describes as unintelligent practice of picking up all and sundry works. Sundry works of art means works from which cannot be specifically mentioned. Okay, any means all kind of works that he refers to. The works means which did not be mentioned specifically. So that's what he means by sundry. Means all the works belonging to that category. Category. So of various kind, we can say several works which cannot be specified randomly. We can say from languages all over the world for a comparative assessment of works in Marathi. He described this practice as an unintelligent practice of picking up all and sundry works of art from languages all over the world. What is the purpose for studying these works of art? For a comparative assessment of works in Marathi. And this tendency, rife in our criticism, has become very dominant, prominent. And he thinks this tendency, the formalistic approach, has to be avoided because it is dangerous to criticism for criticism to enter the comparative field without making an in-depth study of both the cultures compared. Because culture is not a hothouse; it is a soil-bound process. It is not something to be cultivated artificially, just the way we talk about greenhouse or a hothouse. So culture is not a hothouse. It has its own, soil. It is a soil-bound process, the way cultivation takes place. And literature, according to him, is not a theoretical construct. It is not simply a theory. It is a living phenomenon. So literature is a living phenomenon. So this is what he says. We shall talk about other things in the next part of our lecture.